Hey family, what's up and welcome to another amazing vlog. Today I'm wearing a hat because my hair is not really done. But anyway guys, what we want to talk about today is among many other things we have discovered over our 3 years of marriage. And yes, we know that 3 years is not that long, but we have discovered a couple of things. Today we would like to discuss 5 things we've learned about marriage so far. The first thing we've learned about marriage is that you know how many people think that everything is like when you're going through a relationship and you're having arguments and you're having fights and later on you decide, you know what, maybe things will get better if we get married.
People think marriage is a solution.
Yeah, people like probably think in the back of their minds like, look, if we get married, things will probably be a lot easier, or we're gonna love each other more just because we're married. I hate to break it to you, but false. Okay, so
Marriage is not some magic potion that fixes things.
yeah, so when you get married, in fact, we have discovered and actually realized that the situation actually intensifies. It actually
It
becomes
really amplifies it.
yeah, it actually becomes a lot more intense. It becomes a lot more focused. It becomes a lot more like, wow, okay, now you kind of have to face situations.
The situation really does amplify after you're married, whether it be things like finances, whether it be things like emotional things you haven't sorted out, or insecurities you haven't sorted out. It doesn't get any better. It gets worse. It amplifies it. So you have to deal with it before marriage, before taking that big step. Marriage isn't going to make it magically disappear.
Yeah. Now, point number 2. The next thing we've also realized in marriage is that you need to have dealt with most of your past baggage, I would say.
Not most, all of your past
But
baggage.
yeah, you have to have dealt with all of your past baggage before you enter into a marriage. The reason I'm saying this is that I guess there is ways to deal with it if you are already married and you haven't dealt with certain things. It does, however, make the job a little bit more difficult. But I would say that a lot of the things that you have probably heard, distrust, a bunch of things that might have happened to you in past relationships, you'd be much better off if you dealt with that before you went into marriage.
Because they have a tendency to show up when you're already married, and it comes in the worst possible way.
Yes.
It's important to take all those skeletons out of the closet and deal with it. And shoving it so far that you don't think about it very often doesn't mean you've dealt with it. It's like you always say that it's like shoving it under the carpet and then bumping your toe every
later
single
on you're gonna
time.
trip over it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
instead of just picking up the carpet and sweeping out the rubbish. And it's not always going to be easy. It's not going to be easy to just deal with things, but it's important, especially if you're planning on spending your life with someone. I think you owe it to that person to give you a clean self as far as you can to this person and deal with those skeletons.
Hence why we would also suggest premarital counseling, which is a huge deal. You know, getting counseling before you get married is a big deal. We've done it. You get to sort out a whole bunch of stuff. You get to kind of get things out the way. You kind of get to just work through a bunch of things. Third thing, I would like to mention would perhaps be the financial side of things. Financial
That
side
is
of things is a huge thing. It is a gigantic thing, right? It would be better for, number one, I would say both of you to kind of be in your chosen paths, I would say. If I would give somebody advice that would probably want to marry quickly and then try and figure it out in marriage, I would say better to love what you're supposed to be doing. So, and I like something that somebody said this past weekend. I went to some like marriage kind of a conference thingy, and they were speaking about it, and the one lady said that I'm a complete whole and my husband is a complete whole, and together we two wholes that make another whole. And so, you know, she was basically fighting this notion of I'm a half and he's a half and together we are whole. So what she was saying is that I'm living my passion, my dreams, my goals, my stuff. He's living his passion, his dreams, his goals, his stuff. And when we come together, we become what they call, I guess, a power couple, to say that, look, we
Yes.
both kind of know what we want. And especially when it comes financially.
But
I would say.
having said that, I think it's very important that there is also balance, because as a wife, it is important that you do support your husband. And likewise, that your husband supports you in whatever you do. It's important that you find that balance. Like, what is that balance for the two of you? Where you get to live your dream and passion, and he gets to live his dream and passion, but you support each other, and you don't live past each other, because you'll find that if you
living your thing, he's living his
yeah,
thing.
if you're too engulfed in your
And then
own
it's like kind of
thing,
each one's doing his own
then why are
thing.
you married?
Yeah.
So it's very important that you do support each other,
Of course.
and be there for each other,
Of course.
and it's a very fine line. Having said that,
But I would say financially it does make your life a lot easier if both of you are kind of established to a certain extent, and you do get married. It just makes things a little bit easier.
I think we can think as far as financially for ourselves as an individual, and I think it's important, and this is something that Xavier always encourages me to do as a woman. Who are you? What do you want to do? If there ever comes a time, God forbid, that I'm not there, will you be able to stand and take the reins? Will you be able to stand on your own 2 feet and go on? Or in another scenario, if 50 years from now or 30 years from now, we've come to a point in our lives where our children are big, they're out of the house, and you've lived your dream, and it's now
now you just kind of like, okay, what do I do with my life now? So that brings us on to the fourth point, I would say, is maintaining, I guess, your identity in marriage. So another person also said during that conference thingy that I went to, is that also just maintaining that identity, that I am this person and he is that person, or I am this person and she is this person, and together we come together and become a team. But maintaining, like Anka mentioned, now that what happens when now the kids are out of the house and you both like 50, there's still like a lot of years left. There's like 30 years, still 40 years of your life still left, and now you're like, what do we do now?
And also, there's this thing of being a housewife. I was a housewife for 3 years now, and it was a beautiful experience, and I wouldn't exchange it for anything. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with being a housewife. But I went to some event, and it was an all ladies event, like a dinner, and we were sitting around the table, and we were having a bit of chit chat and conversation, all of that, and there were these 2 ladies, and I could see that they were related, and so we were all asking each other, so what do you do, and what do you do, and what do you do? And the one quickly answers, oh, our husbands are engineers. And I was like, okay, I understand, but
what do you do?
What are you?
Who are you?
And
exactly.
It's okay to say I'm a housewife, and this is what I love to do, and this is what I want to do. But always know who you are and what is your identity. It's important.
They had a conversation on the radio the last time about house husbands, men that actually choose. They go pick the kids up. And look, and being a house husband or a housewife doesn't mean you sit at home and just bum around. Running a household is actually takes effort. Running kids, running the home, making sure things are in place. Well, it does require a degree of effort. And so again, and this is a balance that needs to be struck. Again, financially, everything is not just gonna be money, because there's also other aspects that needs to also be taken seriously, apart from just the financial side of things. So you can be rich and then be lonely, or you be rich but the atmosphere at home is unpleasant when you get from work. You're rich but you're barely spending time together. You're rich but there's no real relationship between you and your kids, or the two of you. And so it's really
also
a balance.
You don't want to be at the point where you're like, there's no bread in the house, and you guys are.
Yeah, you don't want to be poor also.
That's
what I'm saying. You need to have that balance. So number 5 we would then like to mention is the religious side of things, I guess, would be, or spiritual side of things, or whatever the case might be. So again, the question then comes in as so I'm a Christian, my boyfriend's a Muslim, for example. Are we okay? Can we make it work? I'm perhaps a different kind of Christian, because maybe Catholic, Methodist, Anglican, whatever, and my boyfriend or my girlfriend is perhaps Pentecostal or whatever. Can we figure that out? And so I guess,
like, whose church do we go to?
Yeah, whose church do we go to? So as far as I know, a lot of times the lady ends up going to the husband's church. And I guess that's kind of more or less. But I guess it boils down to the decision the two of you make as to say, okay, the lady goes to the husband's church or the husband goes to the wife's church. That's a decision I guess would be up to you, the couple, I think. But majority of the time, the wife goes along with the husband. Now, the different aspect of this question would be, can two religions work? Uh, my point of view that I have seen is that a lot of times two people love each other and they really want it to work, but especially when people are staunch, like a staunch Muslim, and perhaps a staunch Christian, somewhere in the equation, one or the other ends up either switching just to kind of
One falls away.
one maybe, let's say the lady switches to please the guy, and then is most of the time not really even happy, or just kind of is doing it to keep the guy happy, or the guy switches to please the girl and then it's not genuine. I would say that it's easier, and the Bible speaks about being unequally yoked, and a lot of times I would imagine that this reference can be thrown in there, as far as it is easier for the two of you. And this is what happened to Anka and I. It's easier for us just to, on that front, because marriage is hard as it is, and you don't want to still have all these extra, bells and whistles to deal with. You don't want to have all these extra, like, now we're not only fighting about finances, now we're fighting about our religions. Now we're not only fighting about religion, now we're fighting about kids. Now it just adds another unnecessary burden that wouldn't necessarily have been there if both were just the same, I guess, religion. And so what I would say is that what worked for Anka and I, were both Christian, we were both saved, we were both into church, we were both, and so that kind of just gelled naturally. There wasn't that, like,
True that, but we don't believe in religion per se. We don't do religion.
religion is more like you're doing it because you have to,
Or you grew up that
you
way.
grew up that
or-
way. So remember, what religion means is, like, you heard people say, yo, they do this religiously, or they eat, or I like tomato sauce on my food,
like
like
a ritual.
with anything and everything. Like, yo, I ask, where's the tomato sauce, because I like tomato sauce on my food. And so somebody would say, yo, Zakes uses tomato sauce religiously. It means, like, you do that thing, like it's almost out of habit that you do it. You do it religiously, or you wash your car religiously every Sunday or every Saturday. You go to you watch soccer religiously. So what religion means then is that you do something because you either do it out of habit, you do it out of force, you do it out of, you kind of have to, you do it out of, this is how my parents did it, so I do it this way. That's more religion, it's more works. And so there's that story about the girl that had to cut she was busy making a leg of lamb and she cut it, and so her husband asked her the one day, so why do you always cut
the end of
the end of the leg of lamb? She says, I don't know, my mother always did it. And then then the husband says, let me challenge you, why don't you ask your mother why she did it? And then when she phoned the mother and said, why do you always cut the thing in half? Then the mother said, no, because we didn't have any bigger pots. And
It
so,
didn't fit into the
yeah, it
pot.
didn't fit into the pot they used to have. But of course, now they have a bigger pot. And so it doesn't necessarily make sense to have to cut it. And so that, again, just shows that, you don't necessarily have to do something out of religion. You want to do something out of relationship. You want to do something. And so that's what happened with us. We both just seek a relationship with Jesus. We both just seek to better our relationship with our Creator, which is Jesus. And that's the point we strive towards. We don't do it like religiously, and we not like, if you miss church, or if you're on holiday and it's a Sunday and we don't necessarily go to church or whatever. I mean, when we're at home, we go to church because we're here and involved in ministry and all that, so we go to church. But if we miss church because we're out of town or whatever, we don't like, ooh, we're going to
Kick
hell,
ourselves.
we missed church. It's because we understand it has nothing to do with necessarily going to church, or necessarily, going to a church event, or necessarily being part of a church team. There's a lot more just to do with your relationship with God. And of course, it does benefit being a part of a church.
And having been in past relationships, out of experience, it doesn't work when you guys don't have an understanding as far as what you believe spiritually, and you just end up arguing, and you feel like there's no connection, or there's no common ground that you guys can speak to in terms of that.
I know in her past relationship, she was dating a guy who wasn't necessarily into church. And now she goes to church, he doesn't want to go to church, or he perhaps went clubbing the night before, and so he's like, nah, no, I'm not blessed for church. Perhaps something in that line. And so it does cause unnecessary relations. Like I said, it's just unnecessary to have another extra thing to have to stress about. So it makes more sense if you both, perhaps, I guess, the same religion or the same denomination, if you want to put it that way. And yeah, so those are the 5 things up until this point. I mean, we've learned. Those are the 5 things to this point. I mean, we've been asked as a couple. Those are the 5 things to this point. We've obviously a lot more, but in this video, we'll cover 5. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you agree, if you disagree, feel free to do so. It's entirely up to you. So you can drop a like if you do agree. You can drop a comment in the comment section if you don't agree, and perhaps stress your point of view. And we'll read it, and then we can have a chat about it. But thank you guys so much for watching. Please hit the thumbs up if you have not yet joined the family. We are now on 253 subscribers. Let's get to 300 and get it right up there to 300, and then begin to move past 300. But thank you guys so much for sticking with us. Thank you for being around. I know there were times we dropped the ball here and there. It is a challenge. It is a lot of work. It really takes dedication. But yeah, so we're trying our best. We're doing what we can do. And so yeah, that's what it is, man. So guys, thank you so much. Yeah, she's saying it's me because she really doesn't care.
I'm very dedicated.
I just have to.
I'm very dedicated.
I'm like, baby, we didn't post anything today.
So is this what my marriage is about? You throwing me under the bus?
Baby, you throwing me under the bus. You basically. Anyway, that's marriage for you.
I love you.